Listen to me. There is a kind of pain that does not shout. It does not bleed where people can see. It hides inside your chest and speaks in the silent hours of the night. The pain of being hurt by a man you trusted, the pain of giving loyalty and receiving wounds, the pain of loving deeply and being treated carelessly. And many of you, you are not just asking, why did he hurt me? You are asking, what is wrong with me that I was hurt? Let me tell you something tonight. Your value is not defined by how someone treated you. No, never. A broken heart is not proof of a broken destiny. There are people who will mishandle treasures because they do not have the capacity to recognize value. If you give gold to a child, he may exchange it for candy, not because the gold is useless, but because he does not understand worth. The first thing you must handle is not the man, it is your heart. Because when pain enters a heart that is not guarded, it begins to rewrite identity. You start doubting your beauty, your intelligence, your calling, your purpose, your future, and that is dangerous. Because one person's mistake should not become your life sentence. Hear me carefully. Not every battle is won by confrontation. Some battles are won by separation. Some victories happen when you choose peace over explanation. If a man hurts you repeatedly, you must first ask yourself, is this correction or is this destruction? Because love corrects, but it does not crush. Love may discipline, but it does not destroy dignity. Love may challenge you, but it will never make you feel worthless. You must learn emotional boundaries. Boundaries are not wickedness. Boundaries are not pride. Boundaries are wisdom. If you keep allowing someone access to your heart while they keep bringing pain, you are not being loving, you are being self-neglecting. And let me tell you something powerful. Forgiveness does not always mean continued access. You can forgive someone and still close the door. You can release bitterness and still protect your peace. Many people think strength is staying and enduring anything. No. Sometimes strength is walking away with tears in your eyes, but dignity in your soul. You must understand, you are not called to be someone's emotional punching bag. You are not called to be where you are tolerated. You are called to be where you are valued, respected, and honored. And to the woman listening to me now, if a man hurts you, do not rush to change yourself just to keep him. Anyone who requires you to shrink to fit into their life does not deserve the fullness of who you are. Let your healing be intentional. Heal before you jump into another attachment. Heal before you make permanent decisions from temporary pain. Because pain has a voice, and if you don't silence it, it will choose your future for you. Spend time rebuilding your identity. Spend time remembering who you were before the hurt. Spend time with God. Spend time with purpose. Spend time with people who speak life into you. And hear this, not every man will hurt you. Do not let one bad experience make your heart a prison. Pain should teach you wisdom, not build walls that block destiny. The right man will not confuse you. The right man will not make you beg for respect. The right man will not make you feel like loving you is a burden. And until that season comes, become whole, become strong, become peaceful, become the kind of person who does not need validation to know their worth. Because when you know your worth, you stop negotiating with pain. I pray for you that every wound in your heart will become wisdom, that every tear will become strength, that every betrayal will become clarity, and that you will never again reduce your value just to keep someone who is comfortable hurting you. You are not what happened to you. You are who you choose to become after it. And you are stronger than you think. Guard your heart before trying to fix the person who hurt you. Because many times when pain comes from someone we love, our first instinct is not protection, it is repair. You want to understand them, rescue them, help them change, help them grow, help them see your value. But listen carefully, a bleeding heart cannot perform surgery. When your emotions are wounded, your judgment becomes weak, your boundaries become blurry, and your identity becomes negotiable. And this is where many people lose themselves, not because they are weak, but because they are compassionate without protection. There is a dangerous mindset that says love means endurance without limits, but wisdom teaches that even love needs structure. When you do not guard your heart, you start absorbing words that were never meant to define you. You start carrying guilt that does not belong to you. You start taking responsibility for another person's brokenness. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to adjust your personality just to reduce conflict. You laugh less, you speak less, you dream less, you shine less. Not because you are becoming humble, but because you are becoming smaller. Guarding your heart means observing patterns, not just promises. Anyone can apologize in the moment. Anyone can cry when they fear losing you. Anyone can promise change when consequences are near. But patterns reveal truth. And when you guard your heart, you give yourself permission to step back and watch actions over time, not just emotions in moments. Because pain repeated is no longer a mistake, it is a pattern. Many people rush into fixing others because they are afraid of losing connection. But hear this deeply: connection without safety is emotional slavery. If you constantly feel anxious, confused, or emotionally unstable because of someone's behavior, your heart is not safe there. And when your heart is not safe, you cannot love freely. You can only survive emotionally. Survival love is not real love. It is fear disguised as loyalty. Guarding your heart also means understanding that you are not responsible for healing someone who refuses to heal themselves. You can support growth, but you cannot become someone's emotional oxygen. When a person depends on you to regulate their anger, their insecurity, their jealousy, or their disrespect, they are not loving you. They are using your strength to avoid building their own. There is also a spiritual dimension to guarding your heart. Your heart is the seat of your beliefs, your confidence, your sense of identity, your sense of direction. When someone repeatedly hurts you, they are not only affecting your emotions, they are slowly rewriting how you see yourself and how you see love. If you are not careful, you will start believing that pain is normal in relationships. You will start believing that being misunderstood is your portion. You will start believing that you must suffer to be loved. Guarding your heart is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about becoming wise and intentional. It is about knowing when to open fully and when to step back and observe. It is about understanding that access to your heart is a privilege, not an entitlement. And privileges are sustained by respect, consistency, and emotional responsibility. Sometimes guarding your heart will feel lonely, because when you stop overgiving, some people will call you changed. When you stop tolerating disrespect, some people will call you proud. When you stop chasing validation, some people will call you distant. But growth often looks like distance to people who benefited from your lack of boundaries. When you guard your heart, you give yourself time to heal properly. You give yourself time to hear your own thoughts without noise. You give yourself time to remember your value without someone constantly questioning it. And in that space, clarity begins to grow. Strength begins to return, identity begins to rebuild, and emotional stability begins to settle inside you like peace you forgot you deserved. Forgiveness does not mean allowing continued access to your life, because many people have been taught that if you truly forgive, you must go back to how things were before. But true forgiveness is about releasing poison from your heart, not reopening doors that led to your pain. Forgiveness is internal freedom, not external permission. It is possible to forgive someone deeply and still recognize that their presence in your life is not safe for your peace, your growth, or your identity. One of the biggest emotional traps is confusing kindness with access. Just because you have a good heart does not mean everyone deserves a permanent place in your life. When someone hurts you and you forgive them, you are choosing to remove bitterness, anger, and revenge from your spirit. You are choosing not to carry emotional weight that can slowly destroy your joy. But forgiveness does not erase memory. It does not remove wisdom. It does not cancel consequences. If someone repeatedly shows you that they cannot handle your heart with care, forgiveness does not require you to keep offering them opportunities to hurt you again. Many people return to harmful situations because they feel guilty for creating distance. They think distance means hatred, but distance can be wisdom, distance can be healing, distance can be protection. You can genuinely wish someone well and still decide that their role in your life has ended. That is not cruelty. That is emotional maturity. Because sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to step away from cycles that keep breaking you. When forgiveness is misunderstood, people become trapped in emotional cycles. They forgive, the person apologizes, things feel better for a short time, then the same behavior returns. And every time this cycle repeats, the pain cuts deeper because hope was involved. Hope is powerful, but hope without change becomes emotional torture. Forgiveness should never be used as permission for someone to avoid growth. If someone knows you will always forgive without changing their behavior, they may never feel the urgency to become better. Forgiveness also does not mean you must explain yourself repeatedly. Some people will try to manipulate your kindness by asking for endless chances, emotional discussions, or guilt-based conversations. They may remind you of your history together. They may remind you of your promises. They may make you feel like protecting yourself is betrayal, but protecting your peace is never betrayal. Your emotional health matters. Your stability matters. Your ability to wake up without anxiety matters. There is strength in quiet forgiveness. Forgiveness that happens in your heart without announcements, without drama, without needing the other person to even understand it. Because forgiveness is not a performance, it is a release. It is choosing to live without carrying emotional chains connected to someone else's actions. You must also understand that access to your life is earned through consistency, not apologies. Anyone can say sorry. Anyone can cry when they are afraid of losing you. But consistent respect, consistent honesty, consistent emotional responsibility, these are the true proofs of change. And if those things are missing, forgiveness does not mean you must keep giving access to your heart, your time, your vulnerability. Sometimes you will forgive and still feel sadness when you remember what happened. That is normal. Forgiveness does not erase emotional memory. It simply removes the power of the pain to control your future decisions. You can forgive and still decide that you deserve relationships that do not constantly require emotional recovery. There are seasons in life where letting go is part of growth. Not because you hate the person, not because you want revenge, but because you finally understand that your peace is valuable. And peace grows where respect lives. When respect is absent, peace cannot survive for long. And when peace is constantly disturbed, your spirit becomes tired, your confidence becomes weak, and your ability to love freely becomes damaged. Know your worth, so you stop negotiating with pain. Because when you do not fully understand your value, you will start accepting things that slowly destroy you. You will start normalizing disrespect. You will start explaining away bad behavior. You will start lowering your standards just to keep someone in your life. And the dangerous part is, this does not happen suddenly. It happens slowly, through small compromises that seem harmless in the moment but become heavy chains over time. When you do not know your worth, you begin to believe love must be earned through suffering. You start thinking that if you just become more patient, more quiet, more understanding, more available, then maybe you will finally be treated right. But real love does not require you to abandon yourself. Real love does not grow in an environment where you are constantly proving you deserve basic respect. When you truly know your worth, you understand that love should feel safe, not confusing. It should feel stable, not unpredictable. It should feel respectful, not humiliating. Many people negotiate with pain because they are afraid of being alone. Loneliness can make unhealthy situations feel better than empty space. But there is a difference between being alone and being emotionally abandoned while sitting next to someone. When someone constantly hurts you, ignores your feelings, or makes you question your value, you are already experiencing emotional loneliness. Staying does not fix loneliness. Sometimes it deepens it. Knowing your worth means recognizing that you are not an option that can be picked up and dropped based on someone's mood. You are not temporary comfort. You are not emotional backup. You are not someone who should only be valued when you are useful. Your presence, your time, your love, your loyalty, these are valuable things. And valuable things are not given freely to people who do not handle them with care. When you know your worth, you stop chasing validation. You stop needing constant reassurance to feel secure. You stop allowing someone's mood to determine your peace. Because your value becomes something internal, something stable, something that does not change based on who stays or who leaves. And this changes how you respond to pain. Instead of asking, how can I fix this person? You start asking, is this situation healthy for me? There is power in emotional self-respect. Self-respect means you listen to your discomfort instead of ignoring it. It means you pay attention when your spirit feels heavy around certain people. It means you trust yourself enough to step back when something feels wrong, even if you cannot explain it perfectly. Your intuition often sees danger before your logic can explain it. Knowing your worth also changes how people treat you, because people learn how to treat you based on what you tolerate. When you tolerate disrespect, you silently teach others that disrespect is acceptable. But when you stand firm in your standards, when you calmly refuse treatment that damages your peace, you teach people that access to you requires emotional maturity. It is important to understand that knowing your worth is not arrogance. It is not pride. It is not thinking you are better than others. It is simply recognizing that your heart, your mind, your time, and your emotional energy are valuable resources, and valuable resources must be protected. They must be invested carefully. They must be given where they are appreciated, not where they are taken for granted. When you truly know your worth, you become less afraid of losing people, because you understand that losing people who cannot treat you right is not loss. It is protection. It is alignment. It is life removing what cannot support who you are becoming. And when you stop negotiating with pain, you create space for healthier love, healthier connections, healthier environments where you can grow without constantly defending your value.
Thanks for watching. Like and comment if you enjoyed.